Good evening and welcome to the City Council meeting of the City of Lenoir for Tuesday, October the 1st, 2019. We welcome you here this evening, and as we normally do when we get started, we'll be rising in just a minute for a moment of silence, and we will remain standing for our pledge of allegiance to our country. Before we go to that, I would like to say a very special thanks tonight to our police department. Our chief is here, and we're glad that tonight is Police Night Out in our city. Thank you for all you guys do. Tonight's a very special night. You get to showcase a few things and talk about some things that you do and take care of, and we certainly appreciate all that you do every day to protect us. So we do appreciate that, and we'll be joining everyone downtown in just a little bit. We're all invited, please, to come downtown and have a part of a special Police Night Out in our city. And next week, National Night Out. Thank you. National Night Out. Well, it's National Police Night Out. And next week is Fire Prevention Week, and Chief Hare, we thank you for all you guys do. And that will be coming up starting Sunday, I think, and we'll be there all next week. And we do have an open house at our new Station 3 next Monday, 4 to 7. So we're looking forward to that, and thank you guys for all that you do. And listen, thank everybody for all you guys do that lead our city in so many ways. We do appreciate that so very much. So special times, special weeks coming up here, and a special night tonight. So we will now rise and remain standing for our moment of silence and our pledge. Thank you. Please salute our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Tonight, first on our agenda is our FY 2018-2019 annual audit, and we welcome Eric Bowman, who will present our update of the city's annual audit. Welcome, Eric.
Thank you. Well, the audit report document is 140 pages long, and thank goodness for everybody here. We only go 5 pages. So we won't bore you with all the rest of it. If you got your handout, maybe you could sort of follow as we go along. The first page that you've got is page 20, which is a statement of revenues and expenditures for all the governmental funds, but we're just going to concentrate on that first column in the general fund. 3 lines down from the bottom, you'll see net change in fund balance, a healthy $995,000 increase over the prior year. So we've had 2 or 3 really, really good years, and that brought our fund balance in the general fund to $11.3 million. If you'll flip over to the next page, we're going to break that down where maybe it'll make a little more sense. On page 18 is a balance sheet for all the governmental funds, excluding capital assets and long-term debt. And if you'll notice in that first column, all the way down to the bottom, next to the last line, you'll see your fund balance number again, 11.3. But what we want to center up on is the line above it, which says unassigned or unrestricted, $9.8 million. You may remember that past year, some of y'all have been on the board long enough to remember this, we were trying to get to 24%, try to get to 3 months expenditures, where now we're at 57%, or 7 months expenses in reserve. So we're way ahead of the game. This is as good as probably you've ever been. I know as good as or better than since I've been doing the audit. So you've really got some breathing room with 7 months in reserves. The next page is the water and sewer fund. And this is a summarized revenue and expenditure schedule just for operating fund, not counting capital assets. And the first line there is total revenues $9.4 million. Total expenditure 7.9, and then we had revenues over expenditures of 1.4 million, which is extremely good for water and sewer, and we've had 2 good years back to back now. So the water and sewer fund is in really good shape, and in a lot of municipalities, the water and sewer funds are not. So y'all have done a super job with that. Next page, page 93. A balance sheet for water and sewer fund, including everything, capital assets, long-term debt. The only two numbers I want to call your attention to is under total current assets, 15.7, versus total current liabilities, 2.1, which is a ratio of 7 to 1. Most businesses, if they had 2 to 1 or 3 to 1, it'd feel real good. So 7 to 1, here again, you've definitely got some breathing room. And the last thing I'm going to mention is on page 14, which is our long-term debt. In those two last columns, 2019 versus 2018, you'll see that our total debt is now $21 million. Last year it's 15.5, so it did go up $5.5 million, primarily because of the metering project and the Fire Station 3. The good news, as David has reminded us, is only about 49% of that, 51% of that has interest on it. The other 49% is at zero interest. So even though it looks like a lot of debt, half of it's no interest. So, I don't know how y'all managed to do that, but good job. So that's pretty much, I guess just in a nutshell, the city's in as good a shape as it can be. Probably said that last year, but you've done better. So just really, really strong financial shape. Expenditures were really held in check. I think the general fund expenditures went up like 3% and water and sewer like 2%. You just don't hear that most of the time. If you can hold it to 4, 5, or 6, you've done good. So just done an outstanding job. We'll try to answer any questions. I realize that's going through that pretty rapidly, but.
Eric, a comment.
Yes.
We have, as I'm sure you found out while you were here doing the audit, we've got a wonderful staff at the City of Lenoir.
Yeah.
And they do a super job managing expenses and also managing personnel, where those who have certain talents lend those talents to us to help save us money and help save our taxpayers money. So we feel very comfortable that we've got a great staff that has changed us. Todd and TJ and I have been on the council 16 years, and we've done this without putting it on the backs of the citizens of Lenoir. With our great staff, we've been able to cover our costs.
Yeah, you sure have. Anytime you don't have tax increases, you're doing something right. So.
Good. Any questions of Mr. Bush? I know it is.
Yeah,
not many questions we even want to ask about that. Well, thank you.
All right, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Great report. Thank you for your work with us on that.
And like David said, we do have a great staff, and it's very easy to work with, and I'm sure they'd rather us not be bugging them, but they don't act like it bothers them, and they handle it pretty good, so we appreciate that.
Glad for you to give them the help that you
do.
Yeah.
Eric, nobody likes an auditor.
That's true. Just say the truth. You're exactly right. Exactly right.
Nobody likes David.
Yes, okay. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Great report. Thank you, all of our staff, department heads, Donna, me, our finance director. We appreciate all your hard work on that, and it really reflects what you're doing. You're watching every dime for us. We know that, and we appreciate it very much and what you do. Mr. Hildebrand, we appreciate what you do. You run a good ship, and we appreciate what you're doing, and thank you for all the hard work from all of you. I know, not knowing you, you all look for every way you can to save money for us and do it the best possible way, and we appreciate that. But not only for us, I'm saying for our citizens, which is what matters. So thank you.
And they also look for low interest or no interest money, and they do
Exactly.
a great job with that.
So we appreciate that. So great reflection. Great report. You have anything?
Need a motion to accept that.
Okay. Need a motion that we accept the annual audit as presented.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the audit as
Coming
presented.
from our accountant on staff here on the council, that's a good thing. We have a motion from Councilmember Stevens to accept the audit as presented. No other discussion. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Thank you. That carries unanimously. So thank you very much. And I will stop just quickly here, and we'd like to welcome this young man from Denmark.
Yes.
Who's with us. He is here because he's very interested in government, and maybe one day being a council member or mayor or whatever they have in Denmark at this time. But there's a group of students and teachers that are here from Denmark that we'll be meeting with Friday morning.
Yep.
Look forward to that. So thank you for being with us, and if you have any questions during the evening, please feel free to ask us that. Do you know his name?
Andreas.
Okay.
Andreas. Sorry.
Welcome.
We've
We're
only
glad.
known each other for like 2 days. And it's lots of running and rain.
We're glad.
In the heat, it's very hot.
Yeah, unusually hot.
Yeah, usually hot. Welcome. We're glad to have you.
Yes.
We'll move on then to, we don't have matters scheduled for public hearing this evening, so we
Just 6 next month, or next 2 weeks.
got how many next month?
6, it is 6, I believe. 6 on the 15th.
Okay, so we'll save them up, it looks like. All right, so we'll move on then to consent agenda items tonight consisting of minutes from our city council meeting of Tuesday, September the 17th, and our minutes from the committee of the whole meeting of September 24th, 2019. Any discussion on those, or we'll move a motion to accept the consent agenda items?
Make a motion, we approve the consent agenda items as presented.
We have a motion from Mayor Pro Tem Willis to approve the consent agenda items as presented. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you. Carries unanimously. We'll move on then to, this is a time on our agenda for requests and petitions of any citizens, and most everybody with us, other than Andreas, is for our staff, and Virginia, who was our resident citizen here tonight from the news topic. So if you have anything you'd like to talk to us about, we would entertain that now. If not, we'll move on. We do not have reports of our boards and commissions this evening, so we'll move on to the report and recommendations of our city manager, Mr. Hildebrand.
Mayor, Council, a couple items tonight for information. First of all, you have the 2020 holiday schedule for your information, and then you have the 2020 city council meeting schedule in your packet. Typically, we have council go back and consent to that. I guess we'll just go back and move forward unless there's any objections to those dates, but those dates are set for 2020 that you can plan ahead for the council meetings and committee of the whole meetings that we have. As the mayor mentioned, tonight is Police National Night Out, scheduled from 6 to 9 o'clock downtown Lenoir, and after this meeting, I'm sure everybody will head up there to participate in that event. The Caldwell County Economic Development Commission will meet on Tuesday, October 8th at 8 a.m., and that'll be held at the Civic Center. The Lenoir Tourism Development Advisory Board will meet on Thursday, actually this Thursday, which will be on the 4th, 4 o'clock, 3rd floor City Hall. So this Thursday the 3rd, and instead of that. The Lenoir Business Advisory Board will meet on Thursday, October 10th, 6 p.m., 3rd floor City Hall. The City County Service Committee will meet on Monday, October 14th, 11:45 a.m. at the college. And the annual Smoking in the Foothills Barbecue Festival will be held on Friday, October 18th from 5 to 10:30 p.m. And then again on Saturday, October 16th from 10 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. And I want to say, what's the band, Joshua, there on Friday night?
I know Jim Quick's going to be there. National Reserve.
That's Saturday, I think, is Jim Quick.
Yeah, National Reserve.
So come out and enjoy the entertainment. It's going to be...
Some locals, yeah.
Yeah, it's a local talent.
So I encourage everybody to attend that event. It's getting bigger every year. Lastly, I would note that early voting for the municipal elections begins Wednesday, October 16th through Friday, November 1st. That's 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and that's at the Caldwell County Resource Center located at 120 Hospital Avenue, also known as the County Library Building. Early voting will also be held on Saturday, October 26th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Any questions about any of those items? We do have 3 items tonight for your action. The first is to go back and designate a delegate and an alternate for the National League of Cities City Summit that will be held in San Antonio, Texas on Saturday, October 23rd. Council members attending will be Todd Perdue, Ben Willis, and also City Attorney Rohr and myself. So at this time, if council wants to designate voting members, that would be great.
Okay, who wants to lead and who wants to be the alternate?
Todd, you be the voter, I'll be the alternate.
That's fine.
Okay, there we go.
All right.
Somebody needs to make a motion.
Motion,
I'd like to
somebody make a motion.
for Todd Perdue to be the delegate and Ben Willis to be the alternate delegate for National League of Cities
Okay.
in San Antonio.
Motion from Councilmember Thomas that Councilmember Perdue be the voting delegate and Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Willis be the alternate voting delegate at the National League of Cities Convention in San Antonio, Texas in November. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Thank you. Vote well.
And off.
and often.
I'm going to my next item. Give me a second. The next item you have tonight is a contract with the Western Piedmont Council of Governments to administer our Appalachian Regional Commission grant. As you're aware, back, I want to say spring of this year, we received a grant from the ARC for the cleanup of the Broyhill site, which is on the corner of College and Virginia Street. That property there has been underutilized for many, many years and has a lot of stuff on that property. But we received a grant funds from ARC. The total project cost is $768,000. Of that amount, I think $300,000 came from the ARC grant. The city's got $250,000 in that as well, cash. So that comes off your fund balance total that we had Mr. Bowman talk about earlier. So the numbers come down a little bit. But this is a contract with the Western Piedmont COG to administer that grant, and the cost of that's $20,000. I know Radford Thomas and Jenny Wheelock are both working closely with the COG on that, but we'd recommend your approval for that contract.
Okay, you've heard the recommendation from city manager and city staff concerning the Appalachian Regional Commission grant administered through the Western Piedmont Council of Governments. Any questions or discussion concerning this grant?
Yeah, that represents about a 6.5% amount of the amount of grant monies that we got. If we got 300, this is at 20,000. So I think that's reasonable, and I'll make a motion that we approve that, item 2.
Have we have a motion from Councilmember Perdue to accept the Appalachian Regional Commission grant administration figures that are presented. No other discussion. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed. Thank you. Carries unanimously.
And the last item tonight for decision is a budget amendment for $258,000, and that comes from fund balance too, so we spent a little bit of that tonight.
That's right. We celebrate.
So, as you recall, at the committee of the whole meeting last week, you authorized staff to go back and make a bid on 2 used refuge trucks that are automated with the sidearm capabilities on that. We did receive both trucks. One is I'll get you what we received. We bought a 2009 600 Mack truck and also a 2018 Mack truck. Both trucks 258. Typically, I think one runs from 275 to 350.
Just one.
Just one. So we had our folks check the trucks out prior to making the bid, and they were satisfied with that. But we were the successful bidder on that. And also with those, the cash amount of 258, we're also trading in a old trailer from the fire department that they were planning to surplus anyway, and that will go to the Sawmills Fire Department. So, but with that, we'd recommend you approve this budget amendment, and I think it's on their agenda for the 15th of this month. So hopefully we'll be proud owners of 2 new garbage trucks, new to us.
All right.
So,
Good. All right, you heard the recommendation from the city manager and staff recommending the approval of the amendment to, budget amendment for the amount of $258,000 for these 2 automated refuge trucks as presented. Any discussion on that? Thank you, Mr. Wright, for all your hard work on that. I know you put together talking with them and negotiating and all that kind of thing, so thank you for that.
No, this is great. I mean, part of the CIP, moving forward at the head, you cannot beat it. So this is great. I'll make a motion we approve. Unless there's other discussion. Sorry, Ralph.
But we have a motion then from Councilmember Presswood to approve the budget amendment as presented. No other discussion. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Thank you very much.
that's all I have except for the closed sessions.
Okay. Any report from our city attorney, Mr. Rohr?
No, sir.
Okay. Except that the Cubs didn't make the playoffs. Other than that,
I don't want to talk about that.
I'm glad you said that.
I don't want to talk about the Cardinals winning the division either.
we still have hope. Braves could beat them in the playoffs.
Go Braves.
All right. I don't have any recommendations this evening from the mayor's office of anything from our city council members to discuss. Not, we have a closed session pursuant to North Carolina General Statutes 143-318.11, subsection A, subsection 4. We'll enter into this closed session to discuss economic development. We expect anything. It's all just be discussed. No, we expect no decisions to come out of that. Need a motion to go into closed session.
Make that motion.
Have a motion. Council members Perkins.
Everybody see it.
Yeah, everybody. Councilmember Perkins to go into closed session. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed. Thank you. We're in closed session. Thank you. If you leave, we'll see you downtown, hopefully in just a little bit. Thank you, sir, for being with us tonight.